Hi, I'm Chris Kenny, President and CEO of the Kenny Family ShopRites of Delaware, and we're here filming season 2 of Aisle Trials. And I wanted to welcome the judges, and if you could introduce yourselves.
My name is Pedro Moore, entrepreneur, founder of Fund and Fuel, and a venture advisor to Terrestrial Capital.
Hello, Mac McLeod, CEO of Carver Ties, a media company based here in Wilmington, Delaware. Pleasure to be here.
Hi, I'm Carla Guzzi. I'm the president of Bing's Bakery and Bing's Bake and Brew, and I'm very happy to be back for season 2.
Well, guys, we had a full day, 5 contestants, plenty of food. We started off with some pizza, we had some barbecue sauce, and we had a little basket of different soul food goodies. And polished it off with some brownies. So I don't know about you, but I am full. I'm so stuffed. But let's go through this. Let's talk about where we're at and see if we can't come to a conclusion and pick a winner. Maybe we do a blind straw poll, but let's get there. Let's talk about the first, this morning we had the vegan pizza. What are your thoughts on that?
I thought the vegan pizza was delicious. Like, I've eaten vegan, I've eaten gluten-free, as I said, and some of the food is not good. But I really enjoyed that pizza. You know, I think it's going to take her some time to be ready. She does not even, have a distribution or anything of that nature, but I think she has a really good product. I'm not sure how ready she is in the near future.
I agree with that. Especially I'm not a big vegan person. I'm not even a big pizza person, but I was impressed by that. The other factor is that she said it was frozen, and I didn't really. She said that afterwards, so I was impressed the fact that it was actually originally frozen, and when she brought it out, I didn't really taste it. Sometimes frozen food may not taste as good, but it being her goal of it being a frozen product, I can see that down the line as she gets her distribution, her packaging, and all that done correctly. But I can see that being a good fit. Also, with the assumption that her pricing gets some work done on that too. But I think she can be a good candidate for that with those pieces: product, distribution, and pricing being nailed down.
I thought it was pretty good, but nothing I would write home about. I think that, she should probably start in baby steps, retailing it to a couple more smaller retail establishments, smaller restaurants, similar to the juice joint where she was already. I'm not sure if they're ready for the big dog. So, I think we should keep it moving, and if we see her as being a finalist, let's revisit. Serious sauces, what do you think, Chris?
Well, I was pretty frank, with our candidate that I thought it was a flavor profile that was pretty consistent with some other competitors that are in the market. It just didn't strike me as something that was immediately impacting me as something that would be a standout, other than it was locally done, family made. Right here, so I'm just not sure that there's enough legs behind that to have the oomph to get the sales for the price points that would be there. So I wasn't too enthusiastic about that, and I think that they were in the same spot in terms of not being ready. They don't have a lot of the the infrastructure underneath of them to, put something into a supermarket business within the next 3 to 6 months. I think they were just formulating what they were going to do and what their ideas were, and I'm not sure that they are even consistent on branding and what the product is going to be at this point, because it changed during the process. So. For me, I'm not sure that the sauces would be a big go forward, but I'm more than willing to hear if others have difference of opinion.
I want to agree with you, and I think it stems from because if you guys recall in the pitch, he says something like, "I toned down the volume because one of my friends said you know you don't want to have it up too high to maybe burn them or whatever." And the sad part is we're making this assessment based off not his real product. You know what I mean? And I think that probably could have, and to your point, we don't really, based off what he currently has, we don't feel like it's, you know, we don't see anything that's different. But maybe his original one had something to it, but because he toned it down, thinking that
We can't eat.
yeah, we can't have. But
We
you know,
can't eat? Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Bring it.
Yeah, exactly. So that just says, you know, next time, you know, listen to your own gut and not listen to other. But you know, if this is the product you want to build the product. And so. I'm saying to say I kind of second what you I'm agreeing with what you said.
Yeah, mediocre, undifferentiated, unspecialized.
All right, Matt, come on. You got to tone it down. You got to crush the guy's dreams and hopes. Come on.
No, undifferentiated.
Come on,
Hey, I'm speaking my mind. I think that there is something there if he were to keep the recipe that he brought in originally. I do think there is something to bringing in brown sugar and maple syrup into, you know, just differentiating it from what's on the aisle. But I think he kept it off the table, and that's going to keep him off the aisles.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, the natural ingredients that he has in his sauce, he didn't really, you know, display that on his brand. And I think that's really important. On a positive note, I will say I thought his labeling, his nutrition facts, his calorie count, his UPC code, he was ready for all of that. And that was a positive on his part. But maybe he starts a little smaller in little convenience stores and then see how that goes. And more importantly, get into a certified kitchen.
Yeah.
How about that pudding?
Pudding.
Pretty good.
That pudding.
Very good.
I think I'm still feeling it. That
Yeah.
pudding got me.
I was
That got me.
confused. Is she selling the pudding or is she selling the?
I think she
the
pulled
Popeye
she pulled a bait and
soup?
switch. She came in and it was going to be the chicken pot pie soup, which was good, but I think the unique product that was even more rare, and at least for me, was even more of a unique experience was the pudding. I thought that was her really best foot forward. That pudding was amazing.
So I thought her chicken pot pie soup was very, very good.
Yeah.
I thought it was very good also. I could totally see it being something where you walk inside a store, you grab it really conveniently, and off you go. I think that would be a real big hit with people who like soups, who like chicken soups. I'm not a soup person. I loved it.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good.
I'm not a big soup person. Well, I did like the chowder, the corn. I'm not a big fan of just that texture in general, but I am a big fan of first market advantage if there is a unique. Now the other items, if there is competition, she could still maybe find a differentiator. But if there is, like you mentioned, that there is a for the pudding, the corn pudding. If there's really nothing on the shelf right now, that can maybe give her a level up as an entry point into the marketplace. You know, it might be a little bit of a risk because no one's out there. Maybe, you know, I don't know the reason why no one's doing it. But if she figured out how to do it, that can kind of give her a good edge. Even though I'm not
She made it sound like it was that process,
okay.
the extended, repetitive baking process of making a pudding versus just a traditional cooking off of a baked.
Okay.
So
Well, if she nailed down the process, in which also that's also with her, with the assumption that that can still be maintained at scale. I mean, she could be on to something. Even if I'm not a fan of them, but I'm a picky eater anyway. But she could be on to something.
Carla, what do you think of the pudding versus the corn soup?
I think they're both really good products. I think they'll capture perhaps two different audiences, right? I think the soups can be frozen. I'm not sure about the corn pudding. I don't know if that is freezable, right? So it could be, if one's a freezer product and one's a lunch. What concerns me is I'm not sure how ready she is, although her product is very good. So I think she's going to need some mentoring along the way. She definitely has to get in touch with some people.
I agree with you.
so,
She was
yeah.
the least
Ready, yeah.
ready of all, and I think, unfortunately, at least from my opinion, I think the quality was near the best in terms of the
Yeah.
eating experience, and the food was top notch. But she has a lot of work to do to create a business, create a go forward.
And-
For the DNA, I really thought that pork was off the chain. I mean, that pork was smoking. Yeah, I mean, it was really good. And even without the sauce, the way that the mouth appeal of it, the seasoning of it, he had a really nice way that it had just enough crunch, and the fat wasn't gelatinous, but it was even throughout, and it had a really nice season. It was done well. That was definitely something that is sellable. Even though that he's looking to sell the
he's
sauce.
not selling the pork
Yeah.
belly.
That's what but that was the point. I was going to say the same thing.
That's
That's
the
the point.
pork
The fact
belly.
that the pork belly is making more noise than the thing that he's trying to actually offer speaks volume, right? I mean, I kind of had this. I mean, the sauce was good, but at the same time, you said this earlier, but the other one, I didn't taste any major difference, other maybe than there's a little bit more watered down. I don't know. I'm not a big chef, so I don't know if that makes a huge difference. But the pork belly was much better. So if he came in here and maybe pitching the season he used on the pork belly, that probably would have resonated a little bit better, at least for me. Of like, oh, okay, well, I want to get that seasoning because I want to make my pork belly taste like that. That's at least the way I would have.
And he talked about down the line having seasonings.
Yeah.
And the cost factor why he's $12, $15 a bottle on the sauce was because of the bottle. In seasoning, the seasonings are always plastic, almost always plastic. The only guys that are in jars and seasonings are billion-dollar brands like McCormick's. They can afford to, buy the whole glass market out. So, there might be a cheaper way for him to get the volume. Then, because what he was saying was that he wanted the barbecue sauce to get the volume to then do the food truck. Mm-hmm. He might be better off doing the seasoning in plastic to get the volume to then do the food truck. But I tell you, the mac and cheese, the brisket, and even the sauces, were good enough. If he was to start that food truck,
He'd do really
he could put
well.
that in front of the store any day.
Yeah.
We'll let him eat our lunch because he would be killing our hot bar, our hot food, but we would be treating our customers for that, and I think that they would really appreciate that.
And they were a beautiful couple. They had a great story. They had great energy. You could tell, like, they were in it, like, mentally. They were in it, so.
I really like the sauce. I thought the sauce started out a little bit sweet, and then I thought it changed as it kind of set in my mouth. I mean, I also thought it looked like he had labeling. I know we spoke, Mac, about changing some of that
Imagery.
labeling to be more appealing to the audience, because when I look about DNA, I'm thinking about something in the medical
The little
field, right?
squiggly
Yeah, exactly.
ladder or
So
the
I think
Y's
they
and
need
the
some
Z's.
work there,
Who
but I
knows?
mean, what would be the downfall if you put that sauce in the stores, right? I mean, for that price point, I think it has to say gourmet,
Yeah.
right? And I don't know if there's one store that might be a little bit more higher in scale. But I like what the couple stood for. I love their goal, and I'm a very fussy sauce person. I really enjoyed their sauce.
I thought it was good. I thought it was good sauce.
Even if you don't, even if they're not the ones that end up getting selected, I still think you should keep in touch with them because, as their story continues, I think they'll do well. I think people will gravitate towards the food, and they'll be players for a while. Like they'll be in the game, and I think over time they can start building out their sauces and seasonings and end up retailing it. But we're still talking about their pork belly. You know, that was like 2 hours ago.
Well, 5 years of no kitchen, you know, that's what he said, right? 5 years no kitchen, just a grill. I agree. I think he'll dominate.
Grilling. He's a grill master. He's a certified grill master.
Yeah. I would definitely want to go to his house during Super Bowl.
How about
Now those brownies.
the story of redemption of the day?
Listen, I think to me, they take the cake in my book because I think that they are the most attractive option for ShopRite personally. If people travel from far and wide to get a specialty item that they can't get other places, I think when you're going down the list, if you want to talk about which option might make the most business sense to ShopRite, if they can consistently produce and sell those brownies without any logistical issues to ShopRite, to me, that would make the top of my list if I were thinking about selling this in ShopRite.
Yeah. And I'm in a lot of bakery sections in ShopRite, and one of the things that I think is if they perhaps put all their plant-based and gluten-free options in one area, right? So in some of the ShopRites, you have those reach-in refrigerators that are a grab and go. This is where I see that product, right? Because the refrigerator will give it more shelf life, although she said it has a long shelf life. And you have that specialty section in the bakery section, right? Because the bakery sections are more than just the case. There's hundreds of items there. And that's where I can kind of see this brownie. You know, I did give her some feedback afterwards, and I told her, you may want to focus on your top two. Sometimes we in the industry make too much products, and then we can't be the best at certain things because we're just putting a little time here, a little time there, a little time there. But I think plant-based options that actually taste good is very, very marketable.
Yeah, and I agree with you in terms of focus. I wasn't really sold on all of them. That's why I asked her about which one was the most attractive, which she said the peanut butter one, which honestly I felt out of all four, that was the one that tastes a little bit better. But I think, if she does want to move forward, she should just forget about, focusing on one and dominating that. Now, I don't think I might have to disagree with you on the one I feel like might be. I mean, I have a person in my head who I feel might be the best candidate. I feel, and this is my reason why, is based off the fact because all of them are not really retail ready, but who is probably or can get there closer to retail ready out of all of them. I'm gonna go back to the vegan. I may not be a fan of the quality of the pizza, but I feel that
That's a big deal, though.
Say it again.
That's a big deal.
Well, but I'm basing it off I'm a very picky eater. But I do know there's a lot of people that are vegan and may have interest in all that in that category. And I know that's a growing category. So with the assumption that a lot more people do like that type of quality, I feel that is a good category. So the reason is that I know she has her numbers, her math. It's a frozen thing, and she's been searching. At least some other people that haven't even begun searching for somebody.
I agree with you. She's probably one of the
she
furthest
just
along
based
in the
off
packaging selling.
In the packaging and just closer to becoming retail ready versus everybody else. That's my criteria for who I feel is the best candidate based on the fact that she's probably closer to the retail ready process.
Well, the
She may not
problem I
be
think
the
for
best
her
product,
is
but
who's going to mass produce this for her.
well, that's what I was saying. Like, because none of them have that.
You can make that argument about all.
Yeah,
I guess so.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I was saying, to her credit, out of all of them, she's the only one that's been searching for that. Like,
I think it's
Carly,
going to be a
Chris.
tough
Carly,
decision.
Chris, if you were to pick a finalist out of what we just heard, who would it be?
Wow.
Knowing everybody's warts and positive things,
Yeah.
Like you got to look at the whole picture with each one.
Yeah, I think in terms of who would be able to be fastest monetized, I really think it would be a toss-up between the two vegan entrants.
Vegan and the brownies.
Flip up. And one way to do it is to say, maybe Carla, if you do it, maybe see if she can because you're not doing that, right?
I'm not.
It's
I
too
can test the
time-consuming.
waters. Yeah.
So maybe you can take the brownie and we take the pizza, and we get 2 winners.
That's really interesting. I think that's a great idea.
And I
think
would
that's a
put
great
that in
idea.
the coffee shop because it's a very specialized
Yeah.
item. I can actually market that in 2 spots.
And hey, if it does well there, then it could go.
Then
Are we
it's an
going to get a
entry
cut? Are we going to get a cut?
No, I mean, I can start her. You know, one of the things about being in the show, which is very important, is mentoring folks, right?
Oh, great.
So, I can be the mentor in the test waters, and then if she does well, I will hand that over to
Yeah,
something
just
bigger
ship it
and better
with
for
it.
her.
Ship it with
And the
with
vibe
the
I was
cakes
getting
you're
from
sending
her
us.
too is like she wanted growth. Like
Yeah.
she wanted that. So I think you'd find a really receptive student in her, and I mean she'd be taking the class under Bing's Bakery. So I think that would really be special to her. I think that could be the start of her professional career.
Yeah, and
with
I
these
think I can make it
brownies.
really easy, right? I have a certified kitchen, right? I don't bake all day. So perhaps I give her my certified kitchen.
I like
During the time that
I like
that
nobody's
idea.
there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like that
Exactly.
idea of
2 winners, but
yeah,
only
I
one
love
for
the
aisle
pizza.
trials, one
Yeah.
wins with the judge.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that happens apparently in other places too, right? Some of them don't get a deal with the main deal; they get a deal
But there's
on the
sometimes
side.
there's a side deal. Yeah,
Right,
that happens all the
so-
time.
I think we just made our first side deal and
Yeah.
decided our winner. Does anyone disagree on vegan pizza?
Do not. I think it's
Oh.
going to be a benefit to the stores, Chris, because
All right.
I think it's a very specialized item.
All right.
It's wonderful.
Sounds good. Yeah, enjoyed today. It was very fun. I think all of
Thank
them.
you, thank you.
They led by passion. I think each of them had their heart in it. I
Yeah.
think the biggest thing for the majority will just be making sure that they have the right logistical background, the right way to set up their operations to be able to really provide it to people. So we'll see.
I'm excited that this process is really creating change, because each time that somebody is coming, and each season as we grow, the contestants are becoming more aware of what are the minimum standards, what are we looking for in terms of packaging, labeling, branding. We had some producing cost sheet analysis and nutritional analysis. Last time we didn't have that. This time we're getting there. Of course, some that were already doing sales last season, they were there, but those that didn't know the minimum standards. So I think each time people, for the most part, are going to continue to improve. Some of the contestants this year had already reached out to some of our partnership organizations and registered for some of the educational opportunities. I think one of the things that we learned this season was the very real need for co-op kitchens.
Yeah.
Where you have a kitchen and it's available like the mill space, where they have people can come in for a week or for a month or for a year, and then they have that space, and then maybe somebody else comes in. So it's a real transitional use, and it's a Class A office space, but for the kitchen it would be a kitchen that's certified, so they wouldn't have to worry about going and doing it themselves, or finding one that and then is going to charge them a fee or cost for production that they can't afford. Then it can be more shared and amongst the users. So I think that's a real concept. We can talk with some of our partners and maybe even bring one of those partners in next season as a judge, or as a partner. Maybe we partner with them as part of the package that it's they get a month free, or they get a test run at their kitchen, but somehow incorporate that so that it becomes more aware. Hey, you might have this product, now this is what you need to do. You need to have this kitchen, or you need to have a kitchen. Here's an outlet for that. Here's an idea. Just like we did with the Capitol.
Yeah.
People were like, well, I don't know, what are we going to call a bank? No,
Yeah.
call True Access.
Yeah.
I don't have a kitchen, what do I do? Well, here's a kitchen. I think each season we're going to keep coming up with more and more ways so that this becomes a cookie cutter stepping stone for people that want to be food entrepreneurs.
And I think again, it's my second time. I enjoy it. I enjoy the fact that, you know, people are starting to realize their dream. Me being black too, I appreciate seeing, you know, other black and brown individuals going after their dream, becoming entrepreneurs, helping to close that wealth gap. And my only parting advice is that, you know, an area of focus. So for all the entrepreneurs, that anyone listening, is that if you do have a product that you want to do retail, you know, and you may, because even the lady, Cast Iron Vegan, she had several other lines, you know, and so there has to eventually be an area of focus where you stop producing everything else and you perfect the main product, one or two, like you always mention, and use that as the carrot to drive the business. I mean, you can make millions off of, you know, one or two products, but that's just my part where it's just focus. Focus.
Well said.
Well said.
Thank you, Joe, and thank you to the Half Genius team that helped produce Isle Trials Season 1 and Season 2. Very excited tonight to talk to all the contestants again. They're all here with us. We have, let me read their names off. We have Tamara Earl with Delectables Cast Iron Vegan Pizza. We have Joseph Pop Howell with Pop Howell's Serious Sauces. We have Abina and Derek Allen with Project DNA Sauces. Patty Carter with Carter's Pot Pie and Corn Pudding.
Hello.
Wendy Wolf, hello, with Molly's Brownies.
Hi, everybody.
And those are our 5 contestants. So before we introduce them and let them give a little quick hello to the group, I did want to talk a little bit about Isle Trials, what we've tried to accomplish for the first couple seasons, and what we're looking to hopefully continue as we roll this out. So, you know, our intent as you know, our family and our supermarket business here in Newcastle County, Delaware, was to convert something that we had been doing on a regular basis in our conference room really into something that was exciting and fun, and we can push out into the community and get more people involved. It's always nice in our conference room when somebody would come in and they'd have their new product line or new variety within their brand, and we would try it. And we thought, you know what, why not make this something fun and exciting for everybody? And so we really tried to do that. And so I hope everyone's enjoying the videos and the outtakes and the interviews and all the stuff that we're doing to make it exciting. I could tell you, when we did it without the cameras on for the last 25 years, it was kind of fun. Never thought it would turn into this. So it's pretty interesting to see it this way. So some of the things that we've really curated, you know, what is going to be successful, and what we want people to really try to achieve in order to get them into our stores, is about 5 different areas, 5 different things. A lot of it is in the application process. Some of it's in the website. Some of it is just general knowledge online, but I'm trying to put it together into something that I think is digestible and duplicatable for those that are interested in taking the leap and becoming food entrepreneurs. So initially, whatever it is that you're going to do, whether it be a beverage, whether it be soup, whether it be brownies, sauces, sausages, foods, whatever kind of food that you plan on making, whether it's recipe based or not, really the number one thing initially, of course, I think, as this group knows, is quality. You have to have a quality product that's consistent, that is appealing to, you know, all of the senses. And if that's where you want to start, and if you don't have that, I wouldn't go to try to do 2, 3, 4, or 5.
because it really starts there. You can, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are branding, packaging, labeling, business plan, financing, insurance, food, nutritional info, and certified kitchen and HACCP practices, and then lastly, marketing and distribution plan. But you're not going to get to any of that if you don't have a quality product. And frankly, if you have all of those in aces and spades and you're killing in all those, but you don't have a quality, it's only going to last so long. You'll get so far, and then the brand will deteriorate, the business plan will erode. You'll start to take shortcuts on the nutritional go-to-market strategy, and then you'll marketing and distribution will dry up. So it really starts with the investment up front with your brain and trial and error and friends and family and really just honing in what is the product that you're going to sell, what is it that you're passionate about that you want to deliver to the community. And so I think that's the strength of what it is that you're delivering as a food entrepreneur. Second, when we evaluate candidates, we're really looking at do they have a brand? And I think you all saw, we really looked at, where people were with their branding, how they presented it within their packaging, how they presented it with the various types of labeling, and whether it was durable, modern, transferable, really had something that was going to have some legs, both from a media standpoint, also from a word of mouth standpoint. And it's very important. And packaging is, as you all know, is not easy. We know, we're constantly fighting in our business, in the prepared food area, in the bakery, in various, what are we going to do with packaging? You can go simple and cheap, or you can go elaborate and expensive. You can go easy and functional, or you can go cute and artsy. I mean, there's so many methods, and you can make trade-offs for environmental concerns. So you can make trade-offs for appearance. There's just so many things that go into that, and how you want to go to market with your brand. So it's definitely a lot of time and investment, and something that food entrepreneurs need to be focused on. And I know that we evaluated that, and we look at that when we make a decision. Third thing is, we definitely look for, a viable business model, a viable business plan. If somebody looks like they're going to build one vat of thing a month and charge an outrageous amount of money, or they're going to try to make a whole bunch of little things and make a little bit of money, there's unit pricing, there's margin, there's the cost of the labor inputs, ingredient variability. The business plan really should take into account how it is that you're going to really be consistently delivering what it is that you need to do. And do you have the resources, the financial liquidity, the personal time? Many of you have jobs, right? You got your day job, and this is not necessarily going to pay the bills if it doesn't work. So you got other things. So you got to really have a business plan that's realistic in terms of what hours, what labor, the people that are going to help you or not help you in executing that business plan. And are you going to have access to financing? Great partner with True Access Capital and Clinton Tynes over there. They are ready to go. They are great people. Had a great relationship with him for many years, and he is looking forward to working with everybody, whether the winners or those that are, maybe winners next year, or, may find other outlets for their stuff. I mean, he is there, and that organization is ready to go. And then, of course, everyone has got to have insurance. Nobody's putting anything anywhere and selling it to the public without, serious liability insurance. And that's something that people have to just know is a cost of doing business, and it's expected to be in a commercial establishment. 4 is everyone's favorite topic, the nutritional and labeling for nutrition information, and having a properly certified, accessible kitchen with practices that are industry standard. These are not easy to do, very difficult to understand the minute variances in the way that you're assembling the products and how they can significantly alter the nutritional analysis, and therefore what people's expectations are regarding how they're going to be introduced to your brand. Are they going to be carb rich, sugar rich? Are they going to have those really unfortunate allergens that there being some restaurants and some in Europe and other places, they have like a code at the bottom. It's kind of, like 20 different allergies, and it's hard to even get through that. So I can understand the difficulty. Luckily, we just sell the stuff. We don't have to go through a lot of that. So you guys have fun with that. But we do have to make sure you know what you're doing, and that it's something that we're confident that our customers are not going to be in a bad situation because you're not competent at that. And we've realized through this process, through the last 2 years, that there's a real issue with access to certified kitchens. And so one of the things that, we're going to look to do with some partners in the community, with the voluminous amount of resources that are being introduced into the market from the federal and state governments due to the coming out of the COVID-19 experience, one of them is kitchens, whether they're co-op kitchens or certified kitchens that are rental based or user based or volume based, however the business model has to be. There just needs to be more access, because for the 5 of you here, there's 10 more that didn't submit a video. There's 15 more that have a product that want to do it but don't know how to start. And I think the accessibility to certified kitchens for everybody, and having that cost be reduced, so that's not keeping you from producing the volume that you need to get started, I think it'd be very helpful. So we're really looking for to find a way to spool that conversation to the top. And lastly is, what are the plans for your individual brands and your companies and your products? What are you doing? What is the plan on how are you going to market? How are you going to get this out to the market? Is it going to be through social media? Where are you at now with that? Is it going to be through snail mail, right? Is it going to be through TV commercials, and where are the resources for that? Are you going to go viral somehow? Going to do public interviews? I mean, what is it that's really going to, make this interest level pop? Is it going to be in our world? What we do is, there's usually sampling that's involved, discounts and couponing. There's the variety of in-store level type things that occur, partnering with another brand or there's a lot of those types of things, but that would be in the business plan, but it would be a significant piece of it, especially as a startup, getting things popping, what is the marketing plan and how's that going to work? And then finally, access to a distributor. To think that, anybody's going to be able to just drive it in their trunk and drop it off at the store, that's not going to happen. So people got to be forward thinking. They got to understand, am I going to have a third party distributor? Or am I going to have a third party packager? Am I going to have a third party manufacturer? And all you do is recipe, send it in, and then they do it soup to nuts. Are you going to have a food broker that beyond me, where there's other retailers that don't deal direct, they deal through brokers? Is that the distribution plan? So, we evaluate a lot of different criteria, and we have discussions about it. Not all on camera in many instances in this particular environment, but we do go through that and on a regular basis. And that's what's critical, whether it's part of the IL trials process or not, for somebody that's interested in being a food entrepreneur, in actually achieving success. And so I wanted to actually put that out as part of this. So now on to this tonight, the actual specific candidates, and then we'll announce the winner. So no particular order. I guess a couple minutes, maybe about yourself and the product. So I guess we'll start with. I'm just going to pick one. How about Patty Carter with the pot pie and corn pudding, which I loved. You can see that in the video.
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Patricia Carter. First of all, thank you, Mr. Kenny, for allowing me to be here tonight. Hello, also other contestants. My name is Patricia Carter. I am a small business owner now, but I have been cooking for over 45 years. My mom's favorite recipes. I decided that now is the time for me to try to introduce her stuff to the world. My mom is going out, but her recipes live on through me. So I've made her delicious chicken pot pie soup, which I stirred up in my video, and I made her famous corn pudding. So I hope that I'm the winner tonight, and thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you,
Patty,
Mr. Kenny.
I love the video submission. The whole deuces, it was all news to me. Right, that was you, right, Patty?
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
It was me.
that was very interesting. I love learning something new.
Thank you.
So next, let's do. I see Pop Howell in here with his serious sauces.
Hello, everyone. I'm Joseph Howell, and creator of Pop Howell Serious Sauces. Just a person that just loves to cook, love to make my family happy with food. As we're talking about the product itself, just I wasn't satisfied with what everybody else was making. So I said, I can do this. I come from a family that cooks. It was always home cooked. It was not eating out. So as I saw my family, my grandmothers in the kitchen and my mother in the kitchen, creating things from scratch, I guess I got a little bit of that my own self. And I decided to put my own spin on the sauces. And I believe that it should be on the shelf. I believe that other people will enjoy this as much as my family and my friends do. And I hope to get it out there.
All right, thank you. And then I see Tamara was on the screen here for me. So Tamara, what's going on?
Hey, how are you? I'm good. My name is Tamara Earl. I am an entrepreneur. I am the owner of Delectables LLC. I do vegan foods and beverages. My cast iron vegan pizza is so good. Vegans and non-vegans love it. So I'm all about my community and trying to help everyone out with their diets, things like that. So I hope my pizza, wins, and that I get to be in ShopRite so that I can help everyone, vegans and non-vegans, on their journeys to a better, healthier them.
All right. I see Wendy Wolf is here with Molly's Brownies. Want to give us a heads up?
Hi, I'm Wendy. Hi, everybody. So I'm the owner of Molly's Kitchen, which is plant-based brownie business. And about 1.5 years ago, I was having some health issues and also just needed to get a new focus and a new energy in my life. And I created, so I went plant-based. And after having desserts that did not please me or please my sweet tooth, I decided to create my own. So with a lot of trial and error, I should say, I finally gave some out to my friends, and soon it was just crazy with people wanting more and more and more and telling me I should move ahead with starting a business. So I started Molly's Kitchen, and Molly's Kitchen is named after our rescue dog, and she is always under my feet in the kitchen because when we got her, she was very malnourished, and so she likes to be in the kitchen in case something drops. Anyway, so I have created 3 brands or 3 kinds right now. The Minty Molly which is a Girl Scout Thin Mint, only in brownie form, and the Maui Molly, which is coconut, and also now the soon raved. I mean, everybody's raving about them. Not soon, but
Peanut butter.
But yes, the peanut butter, which is Montreal Molly, because that's where peanut butter originated. So you also get a bit of trivia with your brownie. And those are they're really amazing. I've worked on them since I've been on the show also. And they're just like phenomenal right now, like amazing. And I'm really proud of what I've produced and the quality. And there is also, there's no sugar, oils, flour, or eggs. So they are gluten-free. Diabetics can eat them. They're vegan, they're plant-based, they are yummy, and they will totally satisfy anybody's sweet tooth.
Thank you, Wendy. And our last our fifth it's Beanie and Derek Allen with Project DNA Sauce.
Hi,
Yes, hello,
I'm
everyone.
Abina, it's Derek.
Yes, I'm Derek Allen, and I'm here with my wife. And we're both owners of DNA Food Services, and we created the Project DNA barbecue sauce, which I essentially worked on for the better part of 5 years when I was in my kitchen without a stove during my whole grilling and cooking outdoors trial by fire. So over that time, I created this barbecue sauce, which I liked a little bit, but apparently everyone else liked a lot.
Everyone loved it.
And everyone sort of pushed or gently encouraged me to try to do something more, try to get the sauce out to more people, because they really did enjoy it. So that's what started our journey to get here, with a little bit of encouragement from my better half. And hopefully we'll be able to use the sauce to sort of fund some of our other things that we have going, like a food truck, which will be opening hopefully by the end of the year, and some different spices and other things. So we would love to win this competition, but either way, we think we're on our way to a successful career in this industry.
Absolutely. And as far as the sauce, the taste of the sauce, it's phenomenal. It pours more like a steakhouse sauce than your traditional backyard barbecue sauce. So it has more of a pour to it. Hence why we chose a whiskey bottle for the bottle. So every piece of it kind of had a little bit of us in it. We met at a bar / restaurant, and so that kind of leads into who we are and where we've met. And so that bottle size and the pour that it has on the sauce, that it has a smoky flavor. It's not too spicy, it's not too sweet. It's just about everything that you would like in a barbecue sauce. This sauce has it. It's the sauce that you think, man, I wish I had something like this. It's not too sugary, it's not thick at all. Like I said, it has a steakhouse pour to it. You can put it on anything, your vegetables, your meats, your fish, anything. It really enhances everything. We actually serve the judges mac and cheese. You can even put it on mac and cheese. It's that good. So we stand behind our sauce, and we're excited, like Derek said, no matter what happens. And thanks, guys.
I am so excited for that food truck. That food truck needs to be in front of the Riverfront ShopRite every day, lunchtime. I'm coming down, I'm eating it. Derek can cook and can smoke some food. Oh, that was some food. So Derek, look, all right, we've gilded this lily long enough. Let's roll this out, right? I hope everybody enjoyed their time and had fun. It was great to see everybody in the kitchen before the getting ready to do the show, where you guys were all, hiding your secret stuff and cooking and getting it ready. So that was really cool to see that going on. And that day, I swear I probably ate more food than I have eaten in a long. I tried to eat all of Patty's corn pudding and took it to his face. Never again. I mean, it was so good. I kept eating it.
Thank you.
Oh man, that was good. And Derek polished me off. So you look, you guys, you know what you're doing. All right. So the winner is Tamara Earl
Oh my.
with Delectables vegan pizza.
What? Are you
Awesome,
serious?
Tamara.
All
Congratulations.
right.
Congratulations.
Oh, wow.
Wait to try your
That's all right.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Right.
What?
Wonderful.
Congratulations, Samantha.
Wait, what?
Oh
Congratulations.
yes. Oh yes.
You earned it.
Yeah.
You go,
You won it.
girl.
Now don't everybody get off just yet, because we decided there was going to be a second winner. One of our judges, who just happens to own a bakery, wants Wendy's brownies. So Wendy's brownies are going into
That's cool.
Bing's Bakery.
I am so
That's
excited to work
cool.
with Carla. I can't even tell you. I mean, this is just an opportunity that I am so grateful and thankful for this wonderful experience. And everybody I met, I just love everybody that was involved with the show and how helpful they are. And Carla, I cannot wait, and I will be calling. So that's
So
great.
Wendy, you're going to Bing's Bakery. Tamara, you're going to ShopRite.
All right.
So we got two winners.
That's wonderful.
And Derek, get that food truck. Get that food truck. I want that for lunch. I'm telling you, I don't care what my landlord says. You know, I'll pay rent for the space that your truck's going in. So that's what we'll do. But congratulations to everybody. And look,
Thank you.
if you need help, you know, so Pop and Patricia, and you know, if there's something that we can do to help that situation, you know, further along, you know, let us know. You know, we're here for you. You know, we'll find a way to make it work at some point. I think you'll see, based on what we did in the videos, where there's some opportunities on both those fronts with both of you. So they're easily corrected. These are, you know, this is just the fun stuff here. We're going to move along. You know, this is, you know, businesses, it's all up and downs. And, you know, for those that are going to start right away, it's going to be, you know, a whole lot. And for those that are still working to get there, it's going to be a whole lot. There's no easy road. Win, lose, or draw. So I really am excited for everybody. And I'm really grateful that, you know, all participated in this. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody be successful.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Samantha.
Congratulations.
Yes,
Wendy.
definitely. Congratulations.
Yeah.
All right. So whoever's got this Facebook Live red button up there is, you know, got to hit the button.
All right. Peace out, everybody. Like,
All right.
Wonderful. Take care. Great success.
Bye.
Success for everyone.
Thank you.